SVG provides many different elements that allow us to create graphics. So many, in fact, that it would be a little overwhelming to cover all of them within this course. Instead, we will take a look at some of the various types of elements to give us an overview and solid foundation to build off of. We can think of the various element types as similar to the elements that make up a house. First, we have the various materials used to build the structure itself. Then we need the lot or land to build the structure on. Next, there's the presentational items that make the house look nice. And finally, there's the utilities like electricity and gas and water that make the house dynamic. The materials used to build the structure are much like the SVG graphical elements that give the SVG graphics their structure. The lot or land is similar to an SVG container element. These elements can contain graphics or other container elements. This one may be a little bit of a stretch, but similar to the elements that make the house look nice, SVG gradient elements can make SVG graphics elements look nice too. Finally, the utilities, which bring the house to life, are much like the SVG animation elements, which can bring an SVG to life. Common SVG graphical elements that you are likely to run into are circle, ellipse, line, path, polygon, polyline, rect, text, and use. Common SVG container elements that you're likely to see are defs, G, symbol, and SVG. SVG has two types of gradient elements: linear gradient and radial gradient. There are a few different ways to animate SVG graphics, which we will explore later in another module, but one method is to use SVG animation elements, which are animate, animate motion, animate transform, and set. Next, let's take a look at some common SVG graphical elements.